Julie's here from Aapril Tax Service in Waukegan. Aapril with 2 A's Tax Service. Is it apriltaxservice.com with 2 A's too?
Just apriltax.com.
You drop the
Try to make it easy.
extra A. All right.
Yeah.
What do I go with 2 A's? It just nowhere? It doesn't go to a porn site or anything?
No.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I think
right.
there's actually Aapril Tax Services out there.
Okay.
With only 1 A.
Really? Trying to ride on your coattails.
Yep.
So text in your questions now at 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword, followed by what you want to ask us for Ask a Taxpert. Today, this one says, best advice for a 1099 gig worker besides the obvious track your miles.
Well, track your miles and track any ordinary and necessary expenses.
Yeah.
Keep track of it.
See, this is the government. The government doesn't define things for us. The government doesn't tell us that George Carlin's list of words we can't say doesn't exist. The government has never given us a list of things we can't say. They say we have to, on the air, adhere to community standards.
Right.
My plan eventually is to drop an F-bomb on the air because everybody I've met in the community has used that word.
Yep.
I don't personally know or hang with any people who don't. So my plan at some point, I'm going to F-bomb it on the air. The First Amendment is there for me. But for you, it's the same thing. It's necessary.
Ordinary and necessary.
Ordinary and necessary. So whatever people define, and then the government finds out, and they're like, no, that's not ordinary or necessary. They have their version.
They have their version.
Can you define it for people? What's ordinary and necessary?
Well, it depends on what their job is. Like if they're gig working, if they're doing Uber, then, if they buy water for people or chargers, that's ordinary, necessary. If there's something.
The little candies in the
little
Uber.
candies.
That's ordinary,
kind of
necessary? Yeah. All right.
Because it's part of the business. I was in a class once and our teacher asked us if we drank during tax season. And then he asked if that was an ordinary, necessary expense during tax season and how many of us wrote that off to office supplies.
What was the answer? Because you can roll it in.
Everybody's like, office supplies, of course.
Because you can roll it in office supplies if the receipt that you turn in isn't itemized. There could have been booze on there. Have you done that?
Figuring that, that's ordinary, necessary expense of being an accountant is to drink.
I don't want to get you in trouble with the government or anything here, but did you buy like paper and pens and you're like, let me throw that vodka in there too? No? If I had your job, I'd drink every day. You do. You don't want to say.
Yeah, we don't.
All right. You can't say.
We can't say.
Of course you don't. You're completely sober. You're doing people's taxes.
Exactly. Right. Can't drink.
That's what it sounds like when I'm closing one eye. All right. If you have questions, we'll go to the text line one more time for Ask a Taxpert. Of course, you have actual questions. Instead of doing a radio thing and sending a text and actually talk to Julie, you'll answer questions if people reach out to you. And, they don't need to pay you until you're actually handling their stuff, right? All right. She does Emily's cheese work on there. Between you and me, what's she making with that cheese gig?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't discuss my clients.
I know you can't. I
can't even acknowledge that she's a client.
Oh, all right. Well, I hear her on the radio saying she is. Is she lying about that?
She can say she's a client. I cannot admit to anybody being my client.
All right. It's like a doctor. Yeah.
I seriously, it's in our regulations that I can't say. This
How many STDs has she had, doctor? But this is a HIPAA law for taxes.
Exactly.
But her taxes got more complex, and she ended up making more like a couple of years ago. Suddenly, her income went up. Can you? Yeah. Right.
We help her go through everything.
It went up a lot. I know it did. Whatever. I'm in the wrong line of work. Final call for tax questions. Text in now to 815-283-0095. Get them answered for free. Or check out Aapril Tax Service online. Aapril with 1 A. Aapril
Tax with 2 A's.
Aapril online.
Online is 2 A's still.
AprilTax.com. Yeah, okay. .com with 2 A's.
With 2 A's.
And 1 A person is just probably ripping you off if there is one.
Probably.
Bastards. 9:21.
Cloudy today with a high of 44.
Shine down on WIIL Rock. Five-Finger Death Punch, 95 WIIL ROCK, the Rock Station. Tom and Stina, WIIL ROCK Morning Show. One more time, the text lines for free tax advice. Julie's here from Aapril Tax Service. Text your questions now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword. It is 929.
Cloudy today with a high of 44. Tonight, rain and sleet, low of 32. Tomorrow, rain and snow with a high of 40. 26 in Mundelein, 27 in Johnsburg. And it is time for the 95 WIIL ROCK Happy Hour News. So with the Super Bowl this Sunday, the big game, right? We're not allowed to say Super Bowl,
You can
are
say
we?
Super Bowl.
Okay.
You can't say it if you tie it to like some type of promotion
Right.
or commercial endeavor. But if we're just talking about it, yeah, absolutely. We can say Super Bowl,
All right.
Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
Well, there's a lot of side bets that bookies make on the game.
Proposition bets,
There
if
you go,
will.
prop bets. And these are just some of the weird ones that they have listed, like the number of hot dogs sold at the stadium. Do you think it's going to be under 17,000 or over 17,000?
I would take the over on that.
You know?
Yeah.
Number of beers sold over or under 120,000.
Over.
Yeah, that's what I'm going
It's
with.
like 50,000 people. I mean, some of them are going to have 6 beers.
Or like what color Gatorade will be dumped on the coach who wins? Like, is it going to be blue or, so.
Yeah. Jake is tracking these as
Blue
well.
is the
because
favorite right now.
he does all these prop bets. I'm trying to get him to come in and talk about them with us too. So
Oh,
I want to
nice.
know where to, because I want to do like a single game parlay on just the stupid prop bets if I can.
We should do the prop bets, for
Yeah,
we've got to have him in by tomorrow or the next day, right?
Thank
'Cause
you for understanding when the game
Super
is.
Bowl
No, why
this
don't we have him in
weekend?
on Monday and then we'll win all our bets?
I don't know when the Super
No,
Bowl is.
we'll just do it on Monday, and if somehow we got all 12 right and we won $1 billion. It's a good plan, Stino. 9:31, then we're going to get taxed on it. Julie's here from Aapril Taxes. She'll explain. Aapril Tax Service will explain how to hide our $1 billion. You got questions, last call to text them in. We'll get some of those answered next on WIIL ROCK. You want to be a International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers electrician? That's waiting for you at IBEW Local 117, the only registered electrical apprenticeship training center in McHenry County. You earn while you learn with their 5-year apprenticeship program while you accumulate no debt. That's right. You got a valuable education and you earn while you learn. Your chance to get in on that. And there's room for advancement. Industry leader in training of installation with new green energy electrical systems, solar panels, electrical vehicle charging stations, wind power. Be part of a team, highly in demand career, and the chance to work anywhere in the country as a union electrician can start right here with IBEW Local 117, keeping the power on in McHenry and Kane County. You want that to be you. Place to start is the website, IBEW117.org. All right. Speed round with Julie from Aapril Tax Service. Let's blow through some of these tax questions quickly here. How many we can get in here? Question for Julie. Who is her absolute favorite client? I bet someone who makes her lunch boxes full of meat and cheese. I recognize the number, Emily. Nice try.
Of course it's Emily.
Cheese lady. Does she really bring in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's folded cheese. This
She
is.
brings us folded
She should pay a higher tax amount because of the markup on that stuff.
Yeah. It's really good, though.
Yeah, it is good. She does very good at it. Isn't it
She's
weird?
very good.
There was no training. It was like this was in her all the time.
Yeah.
She's much better at that than she was at a broadcaster. I'll tell you that. Anyway, I'm just throwing shit because she left me. Let's see, what do we have? If I donate, can I take it off my income tax, or do I have to itemize? How much do I have to donate before I can take it off my taxes? It doesn't work like that. People think if you donate $10, you can take $10 off your
Right.
taxes. If something's tax deductible, it isn't just swapping out the amounts. And there's a standard amount you got to hit before you can worry about
Right. And
any of that. And you're not hitting
You're
it.
not going to hit it, especially if you don't own a house.
How much? What
Never
is
gonna
it?
hit it.
25K? Or,
Yeah, 25K for married, 12 for single, 19 for head of household. So,
All right, all right.
yeah.
This is not a concern. If it is a concern of yours, good on you if you've
Yeah.
donated that much
If you
money.
have,
Way to
yeah.
go. Let's just do a couple more. I received $37,500 from the sale of my grandma's house in June. Do I pay income or inheritance taxes on that amount?
Well, what probably happened is you get the value of the house of when grandma dies. So the price of the house when she passed is probably right about the same price as what you sold it for. So there is no gains. You just put on the tax return showing that the purchase was the same as the basis price of it.
So, but do they have to
They'll-
pay inheritance?
They
on
won't
it?
be paying any taxes on it.
You don't have to pay inheritance tax on getting somebody's house?
No.
If somebody's a millionaire and they're about to
Wow.
die, and my grandpa buys a $10 million house because he knows he's going to
Yeah.
die, and I inherit that house, I don't have to pay taxes on that $10 million house, inheritance
True.
taxes?
True, because he
Really?
paid taxes. But normally it would be like my father passed away. He bought the house in 65.
Yeah.
So he bought it for $35,000. I sold it for considerably more.
All right. You almost said it
In
there.
displays.
$1.3 million.
No, but a lot
in
more
displays.
in displays. So I didn't have to pay any taxes on it because I got the value of his date of death, which was I sold it 6 months later, same value.
All right.
Doesn't
I don't
go up.
understand any of this. Talk to Aapril if you have questions about this. This is confusing even when it's explained. Let's do one more. What tax credits for first-time home buyers are there in Wisconsin? Well, Wisconsin or Illinois.
there's
First-time
none.
home buyers, are there
There are none. There
not
have
a
not
thing
been
anymore.
any since 2008.
not a thing anymore?
Not a thing.
All right. Is it coming back? No,
Probably not.
They're not going to give us any breaks. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
All right. All right. That's a positive attitude to have, Tom. Thank you, Julie. If you have questions, if the people have questions, I know it's your busy time of year, but they can call and ask you simple questions. And then the best thing to do is if you have complex questions is go in and have a tax preparer.
Yeah, go online, schedule an appointment. There's a thing in there, like free estimate.
Oh,
Just
right online?
click
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
You can get a free estimate right online.
Well, no, they can make an appointment online
all right,
for a
all
free
right.
estimate, and
All
then
right.
I can sit down and talk to them about stuff.
It's Aapril Tax Service with 2A's.com because she's shifty. And that's the kind of person you want doing here. Not shifty. You know how to. That was her getting to the front of the listings in the phone book. She's smart. She's crazy like a fox. There's Julie from Aapril Tax Service. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
having
you.
me.
I know it's busy time and you got to get over there and do
Yeah.
whatever would just give me nightmares. All right. Takes all kinds.
Yep.
Fart jokes probably give her nightmares. So there
Exactly.
you go. Yeah. It's 9:38.
Cloudy today with a high of 44.
2A's there. AprilTax.com. Here's Papa Roach on WIIL Rock.